Hey fans, it's me, Aaron, for a comic show. And today is the 1 year anniversary, the whole 1 year later type of thing to use comic book terms, which Mike would love. Triforce Mike's got hit, fatally hit by a car on his bike out here. We still have the bike out there in memorial, and we've done plenty of things to honor him over the past year. He won #1 Big Shot in Orlando. We have a plaque on the wall with his comic shot Speedo. It's kind of ridiculously serendipitous that this book came out today. Triforce Mike would have loved this book, Legend of Zelda HYRULE Historia, and just thought we'd highlight that. It's pretty cool. I'm definitely gonna take it home and look through it and remember my friend. You know, nothing can replace him or restore the loss, but we've really come together as a comic shop community around that loss in the last year, and I'm just nothing but thankful and proud of all my friends that have helped me and helped each other through it, and the charity work we've done in his name and all that. So thanks everybody. Now to comic book death, because I mean that's what we comic book people do, right? We worship death. Invincible 100, everybody's dead. I'm sure you've seen the ad where it's like, everyone is dead, it's the death of everyone. And you might have even seen the things of the first page. He dies on the first page. That's not a spoiler. Look, he's dead. There's like an eyeball. He dies on the first page. But yeah, if you think that there's a fake out, maybe there is. It's awesome. I really enjoyed this issue. And if you're an Invincible fan and you're like, what is Kirkman doing? Why is he making this book so dark? By the end of the issue, it is 100% the Invincible that you love if you're an old school Invincible fan, with a crazy kind of like twist family related cliffhangery ending, you know, kind of on par with the what the heck with his dad at the end of volume 2. It's good. You'll like issue 100, I think. Deathmatch, another thing, death. This is basically it's Secret Wars R-rated with just nothing but death, actual death. They're fighting and they're dying, and we have that Fandom variant #1 we're still giving out free to people, and it is fun, it is cool, it is like, you know, pulling the curtain back and saying if these characters really had all these powers and were forced to fight to the death, there'd be all kinds of death, and you know, that's not gonna happen because the companies are not gonna do this to their intellectual properties. But Boom will do it with this, and I'm enjoying it. There's a whole bracket too of, you know, we can take bets on and everything. So this book does have payoff. It is Paul Jenkins. It is a heavy thing to get into. They explain all the characters, their bios, their stats, and they all are like certain characters from the Marvel Universe or from archetypes of superheroes and villains. But if you're willing to put in the time it takes to read it and understand these characters and everything, it is fun. And there's that whole layer of you're reading a intercompany, like a company crossover of the shared universe of like a Marvel company, but for the first time where it's like really the stakes are what the stakes are. Hyperion, this is a issue that only focuses on him. It gives his origin. This is not the Hyperion from Marvel Zombies or Supreme Power or Grunwald's Hyperion. This is a brand new Hyperion that is not just, you know, a total ripoff of Superman, and I know they weren't all just, but he is beyond that, deeper than that. He's not even a ripoff of Sentry, all right? But Hickman has created this character, recreated this character for us, and I really enjoy it. And I like that Hickman is building the Avengers, not just like, well, here's the photographs of everyone who's been an Avenger. Who do we want to, you know, to pick up? He's creating and recreating characters, and I'm digging it because I know Hickman always has this big plan like he had with FF and Fantastic Four, and it's going to have plenty of payoff, so I'm excited. This was the most fun of the week. Superior Spider-Man, just having Ock as Spider-Man and what he does, how he fixes these problems that Peter just accepts are just part of being Peter. He has the Parker look, you know, he never has time for his life. Doc Ock does. He comes up with spider bots, an app for patrolling. He comes up with all kinds of, I mean, I could list off a slew of things that he does to be a smarter, better Spider-Man, and it's still not really getting into spoilers of the plot or all the things that he's doing. It's truly fun for me, and it's also fun to see Peter, yeah, just get it. Just get it. Even if you hated 700, the ending of 700, Superior Spider-Man is fun. Hawkeye, this book is a single-issue story with 2 stories in it, all Hurricane Sandy. And the reason this was originally going to introduce a new villain, but then Matt Fraction decided, hey, I'm going to tell a personal story about the heroic efforts of ordinary people in New York and New Jersey with Hurricane Sandy. And who better than Hawkeye to do that? He doesn't have any powers. And the first story is truly emotionally impactful. It's a man and his elderly father, and it made me cry. I mean, it made me cry. If you read this and don't cry, you might be dead inside. And the second story was also Hawkeye, girl Hawkeye, Kate Hawkeye, and it was good too, even though it was set in New Jersey. And the big kicker on this is Fraction is giving all of his royalties of the sale of this to the Red Cross, for reals. I mean, you can look it up on mtvgeek.com. I'm not making that up. So I ordered ridiculously heavy on it. It's a single issue story, 2 stories, and it's emotionally impactful. It's good. This Green Lantern Corps annual, this is the end of the Third Army. This is it. This is everything. Where if you were reading it last week, you got so much payoff with Kyle and with Guy and with Baz and with Bidge. And this is the culmination of everything. All the subplots, all of them. Just every page. And if you're a Guy Gardner fan, like I'm a Guy Gardner fan, this is awesome. This is what we wanted to see. Guy Gardner, he don't need no stinking ring. He's Guy Gardner. And Red Lantern is also out this week, and you see how this story that didn't seem to even be related to the overarching story of Third Army actually dovetails in there. This annual, if you see Damian dressed up as Batman, like in 666 and all that in the future, and that does anything for you, this is not a fake out. Damian, the little kid, does put on this costume and wears it for about half the issue, kicking ass as a little kid Batman. It's not the future, not an imaginary story, not a bait and switch. If that does something for you, get it. Batman Dark Knight, this is Van Sciver's first issue on art, and he's creepy. His Mad Hatter is really, really, really creepy. I mean, he kind of redesigned the character because it's, New 52, and it just creeped me out. And it's really the art that really does that whole gut punch for me. The Teen Titans, this is Death of the Family. Yes, it ends with the platters like all the issues end. Yes, both the Robins are tied up like I complain like, oh, all he does is tie up Robins. But we get to see Tim Drake and Jason Todd have it out, literally fight, beat the crap out of each other for several pages. I mean, to me, even if you don't like Lobdell's writing, which, you know I'm not the biggest fan, I enjoyed seeing page after page of Tim Drake and Jason Todd beating on each other and insulting each other, and that was fun. I enjoyed it. Aquaman, I can't say anything about it because I said everything I had to say last week, which was all speculative. I would never spoil something. I'll say why you should care. I try to tell you what's good and why you should care, but I'm not going to spoil the story. If it sounds like I'm just speculating what I think is going to happen. So, having said that, I can't say anything about this. Just go see what I said last week. Justice League's out in a collection. This is the villain story, the second arc of that. And this I wasn't going to talk about, but I just had to. It's Injustice, Gods Among Us, that is the video game tie-in, okay? And it's really well done. I had a friend of mine that read it in advance say, wow, this is so well done. Who is this writer? Who is this writer? Tom Taylor. Tom Taylor is the pen name of Mike Carey because Tom Taylor is the main character in his book, Unwritten. So Mike Carey's like, yeah, I'll do a video game tie-in book, but not as Mike Carey, because Mike Carey, he does classy Vertigo literature. But I'll do it as Tom Taylor because that's meta, dude. That's art imitating life, imitating art. That's the word becoming flesh. And, are we to believe that Tommy Taylor actually became flesh from this story that Mike Carey wrote and is now writing this book for us? That's what I choose to believe. So, have fun with that. Thanks, bye-bye. Thanks for watching the video. Click subscribe. Go to our Facebook, share it on Facebook. You can win some comics. And if you're local, this Friday, we have the grand relaunch, grand opening of the Geek Easy for real this time with food and all that stuff. Saturday, we have local guy, Mark with a C, who did the song, The True Story of Triforce Mike. as launch of his album, Popular Music. And on Saturday, we're having a huge Super Bowl party with food from the 2 cities that are playing. So stop by.